It's like right out the door. But the more people are out there than I thought, so human traffic is not what we want to kind of condone right now. We have a little less than an hour left. Let's see, should I say something nicer? I should, yeah. One interesting idea. We wanted to share a thesis with you. So the reason we did Korea Blockchain Week was there was really differing investment theses that were going around. I have one foot in the Bay Area where all the foundational technology is, and one foot in South Korea where a lot of speculative market is. But blockchain is a global phenomenon. So we had to try to find a way to how to bridge this gap together, right? It makes sense that maybe a new blockchain technology might emerge from the US, but Korea is hyper-connected. The likelihood for a dApp or a service emerging in Korea or Asia is significantly higher than it would be in the US, right? If 40% of Americans were trading crypto today, Silicon Valley and New York would just be crypto, right? Anyway, so that brought a lot of good folks together. We're gonna bring Beck onto this. You guys ready? Yeah, we're gonna bring Beck onto the stage, and he'll introduce a batch of projects that have already finished raising, and they'll talk about their experiences.
Thank you, Alex. It's been a crazy week for Hash team to organize and welcome investors and founders from all around the world to Korea. As a leading accelerator based in Korea with insane amount of penetration with about 40% of white-collar population owning cryptocurrency, we believe in accelerating a project that can bring mass adoption of decentralized economy. We believe in accelerating a project that can bring mass adoption of decentralized economy. Years of experience from their specific domain. Altogether, they're starting with 50 million real users from day one. Today, no more TPS talk, and let's talk about real service and real user experience. Please welcome panels with round of applause. All right, to start, please tell us briefly about your projects and where you are in terms of the timeline. Should we start with Chase?
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Chase. Today, I'm really excited to talk about the user adoption because that's my job at TTC Protocol. TTC Protocol is a social network protocol. We are building an ecosystem aggregating different types of social network services and online communities from different regions where users can claim their rightful value of their online activities. Talking about users, and then since we are the social network protocol, headcount really means a lot to us. So as a proof of concept, we are launching our first step, hopefully this month, with 13 million users in China. And in coming months, hopefully also in the third quarter this year, we're adding 10 more million users to that ecosystem by bringing our second app. So that's a basic introduction of our project.
Oh yeah, my name is John from Watcha Contents Protocol. Our protocol is from the premium contents distribution industry. So two value propositions that we're trying to bring is data transparency for the content makers, and user incentivization and compensation. Currently in our industry right now, all the valuable user data is siloed off in a black box called the platform. The content makers who really need this data never get to see it. The users who provide that data never get a dime for it. So in our protocol, we're encouraging our platforms to put that data on the blockchain. And on the other end, our tokenomics is being used to incentivize and compensate users for one, data, and the other marketing contributions that they bring to the titles that they view.
Hi, my name is Richard. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Carry Protocol. Carry Protocol is all about empowering everyday users with full control over their data. For example, if you buy a burger or beer in a store, you can choose to share that transaction data, and Carry will reward you with a little bit of tokens. Over time, you can build a big database of offline transactions, and advertisers can use real-world data to perform targeted advertising. And also for that, users will be rewarded with carry tokens. And that's, we basically want to build a really, really large database of offline transactions.
Hi, I'm Eunsol Lee from Medibloc. We are making a decentralized personal health record platform. The current medical ecosystem is centered around the medical institution, government, and large insurance companies. But data ownership and management centered on DH is not by individuals. So our job is to enable individuals to make and use own their healthcare data. So by doing this, individuals can be benefit by not only promoting their health, but also they can get reward from the data consumer. And by doing this, we are doing by this, and we released our alpha version of our platform this April, and by June, we just did the POC with Seoul National Hospital University, one of the biggest hospitals in Korea, and now we are working on other hospitals too.
My name is Howon, representing Cosmochain project. We are one of those typical data monetization project focusing on beauty. We believe that there are bunches of beauty-related data, skin photos, skin types, purchase data, social media, beauty-related contents consumption data. We are trying to collect them and then incentivize users to share those data with brand companies or marketing companies or R&D companies in beauty sectors. We are at this stage building our platform, launching in Korea, and we are trying to expand our business through a lot of partnership models in global scale.
Cool. As everyone may have realized, we have founders from various industries. What does decentralization mean in each of your industry, and what kind of changes do you plan on bringing to the industry? Let's start with Richard.
Decentralization for Carrier Protocol is this. Whenever you sign up for a service, you give a lot of your personal information away, right? Starting with your emails, sometimes in Korea, your social security number equivalents. And the problem is, you give these information away to the service providers, but you have no idea why they need it, how it's used, and most importantly, you're excluded from any monetization that the corporations do. You never make money from your own data. What we're trying to do is bring basically power these data so that users can receive ads rewards directly from the advertisers. So we're kind of getting rid of the middleman. Advertising from our Carrier Protocol can be done by sending branded tokens. It's a sending of tokens that becomes advertising. And because of this, advertisers don't go through big media channels that they used to, such as Facebook or Google. And because of this, we are decentralizing any sort of media intermediaries, rewarding users with their carry tokens.
Howon, for Cosmochain, I think the story of decentralization is a little bit different. Could you share more?
Sure. During the talking with a lot of accelerators and investors during the ICO stage, one of the pinpoints that we had was that our project is not literally decentralized. We try to collect data and try to analyze it and try to provide our data sets to appropriate data demand companies. And obviously, we do use blockchain, and we do try to be transparent when collecting our data and also reward them, which is the core concept of decentralization. But at the initial stage, our Cosmochain team believes that we do have to have centralized model when it comes to data monetization and utilization, and provide appropriate like examples in the initial stage.
Cool.
Right.
How about you, Chase?
I mean, I think all the keywords are out there. So rewards, he talked about it, and Howon talked about the transparency. From our point of view, the decentralization is another form of user adoption strategy, actually. So by being able to distribute the value with the full transparency, now all the companies and services can get together, form an alliance with a very clear aligned goal, which was not possible in the centralized world. When the value chain or the cash flow was going through the centralized systems, there was a lot of legal issues, or there was a lot of trust issue that had to dealt with in terms of having a very clear partnership between the different entities. Now, we find it a very attractive opportunity for us to actually aggregate different social networks and online communities from various regions, and then different types, different entity structures, because now we are talking with a full transparency and the right information shared on the table for all the members together.
Cool. Let's go back in history a little bit. End of last year was great for everyone, and the Korean market really exploded and became the dominant market in cryptocurrency. Still today, this industry focuses so much on the new ICO deals and market prices, but building a strong community is the key of building the sustainable ecosystem growth. For Cosmochain and TTC, going even further, you guys have acquired a peer company to accelerate that growth. Could you share more about your strategies?
Yeah, I think I can start first. So basically what we are trying to do is reward customers if they provide beauty-related data and utilize them actually to buy a product. And we are not pursuing to make a new platform in each region, rather a partnership model. We have our own existing business in China, and we are launching our own service in Korea for strategy reason. And recently acquired number 3 marketplace in Thailand, 11th Street, 11 million monthly active users. I think it's much easier for us to introduce our tokens to the existing platform users. Interesting about this acquisition is that we used not only cash, but a significant amount of acquisition fee was actually delivered with our COSM, our token that we made. So I think it was like first a chance that to actually get recognized as a digital assets in this acquisition deal.
Right. For TTC, actually acquisition, acquiring service is not our main, it's not our most desirable way of expanding our ecosystem. However, it is a good format. The way I look at it is that from the online and mobile and blockchain, there has been different types of disruptive wave that happened in the tech industry. The biggest difference between online and mobile with the blockchain is that there's really no entry hurdle to integrate the system into existing services. Back in the days, to introduce an online site, the person must purchase a computer or have an access to World Wide Web. Same thing happened in mobile. You have to spend hundreds of dollars to purchase a smartphone and then download the application. With a blockchain, actually, it's really easy to migrate existing user base of any existing service because it's entirely a centralized decision of the existing services. So even though we are dealing with a heavily B2C sounding model, which is social network, most of our strategy is focused on the traditional B2B acquisition or partnership or investment. So we are utilizing every single tool out there that exists from the, long time ago, which is investment, also acquisition, and the value-to-value partnership. Recently, we acquired a company called Alive with a 10 million user base, and that's just one case that how we are expanding our ecosystem.
Cool. For Carry Protocol, you guys recently announced the alliance, right? Could you share more about that?
So to power or kickstart our ecosystem, our first partner is Spoka. Spoka works with 10,000 merchants and already has 15 million users in Korea. We're partnering with companies like Spoka to kickstart, merchant base as well as user base. What's important also is we officially launched Enterprise Carry Alliance, which is an alliance. It's a support that we're providing to a lot of potential partners, so that we can onboard several different types of companies like Spoka that are merchant facing. So recently, we just announced a partnership in which we have a partnership with a company called PetDog, and this company has 98% market share of pet doctors in Seoul. That's basically a dominance in an offline sector in pets. So by partnering up with companies like this, we're getting big chunks of merchants at a time, as opposed to doing small acquisitions. So going down the line, our product is going to take some time to build. We're building the ecosystem as well as the product in parallel to speed up our deployment.
Thank you, Richard. So while these threes are growing from ground up aggressively with user acquisition, medical and media industry are some of the most conservative with a lot of friction in each of its own way. Medibloc and Content Protocol are taking the top-down approach. Medibloc tackling governments, academia, hospitals, and Content Protocol starting with top-tier content providers and strategic advisors from Hollywood. What were some of the challenges and how did your team break through to redefine the industry? And it'd be great if you can add a little more about how you're planning on decentralizing that industry, which is a huge.
Yeah, sure, I'll start. I guess there could be a couple challenges. One, user acquisition. Our existing business, Watcha and Watcha Play, which is a leading competitor against Netflix here in Korea, we have amassed over 4 million users. With Contents Protocol, we're actually utilizing this user base to airdrop 4 million to our 4 million users tokens. And also, in the next quarter, we're actually updating our app to have our subscribed users make their payments using our tokens and being rewarded with our tokens. One sort of a challenge, I think this goes for all of us, is how to create that organic demand for our tokens built within our network. One of the things that we did was to use our tokenomics. We set it up so that every transaction, at least 20% of every transaction that happens in our protocol is used to purchase a CPT. So this is used when platforms are paid, also when the users are compensated and rewarded. Those 20% of all transactions will be converted to CPT tokens to be paid out to them. So this is one way we actually created a natural demand for the purchasing of tokens. Decentralization. We really are looking to put compensation in the hands of those who bring value. So we have three participants in our industry. We got the content providers, we got the platform, and we got the users. All three of them bring some value, but in 2018, we feel like that value to compensation ratio is really lopsided with the platforms. Content providers like Hollywood, Sony, Disney, they bring in a lot of budget to build contents and provide it to the users. Users make payments, and they also provide data and marketing contributions. Platforms offer server, CDN, our DRMs, and maybe some subtitling services, all of which are being decentralized by some project or another. VideoCoin is working to decentralize CDNs. Viki Streaming has proved that subtitling can be decentralized by fan subtitling. It's really time for platforms to bring value by drawing insight from the data that they have accumulated by putting that on the blockchain. And that's what we're encouraging our platforms and this protocol to do.
Medical industry is usually controlled by a government in many countries. So we are always trying to talk with the government and the assembly and other kind of government parties. So about one or two, two per month, we usually have a forum with the government parties. So we are trying to pursue our concept and say what will do change and what we want like that. And if in the future they will support us, we think our project will be explosive growing. And another stakeholder of our project is medical institution. We are doing a lot of things with medical institution right now. For example, we are doing a POC with Seoul National University Hospital, like people I said, and another project like a big data hospital center with Catholic University Hospital. We are doing that project with medical institution by purchasing how people can get benefit from personal health record, and I think we are good at that because Alan and I was a medical practitioner before we started our project, and we were active in academia, and we are also worked in a medical institution. That's why we are good at dealing with the medical institution. Yeah.
Cool. Following up to John's point on generating organic demand, most of token holders today hold it for the investment reasons, the financial gain. And this is where it really draws the dots on current DApp projects. When do you think the actual token utility of the network will be the major reason people hold tokens? And what efforts are you guys putting to accelerate the timeline? Should we start with Chase?
Seems like you're throwing all these hard questions at me first. Right, so token value, right? Not just investment. Our proof of concept with the 13 million user base will go on-chain this month. And I think it's important to actually have at least of a certain size of user base to actually experiment, kind of a sandbox, right? Another idea is that since we are building an ecosystem, a lot of projects are building their own usage of token, describing their white papers. X, Y, Z token should be spent in certain ways. However, what we are actually trying to achieve here is that by aggregating different types of social networks and existing services, and existing service means that they already have their own business models. For example, in KakaoTalk, they're selling stickers. YouTube having YouTube Red, for example, subscription models. So by just having them on board into this blockchain ecosystem and allowing users, existing users, to make a transaction, a purchase of these services and items using TTC token will be the ideal way of TTC token usage. So, however, if the token is being used, it's not created by us. Actually, they are created by our family members in our ecosystem. And the credit, sky's the limit, right? I mean, it's really up to those entrepreneurs to come up with different usage of token. And we are just providing a big ecosystem where users can earn their tokens by being online activities, and they can spend the tokens to gain whatever they really like.
Cool, thank you, Chase. What about for Cosmochain?
Pretty much same, but in addition to that, our focus is a marketplace. It's just not a simple transactions that you have to do in order to buy a product. Marketplace, you have to work with the payment company. Also, for overseas delivery, you also have to declare with the tax offices in the local regions. We have to have a certain amount of confidence to actually persuade those companies to accept tokens, or we have to convert it into cash. So all those kind of stuff, we are preparing it. So and the marketplace for beauty retail is huge. So that's where we are getting at to actually utilize our tokens.
Sounds good. Do you have something to add for Carry Protocol?
Yeah, for us, it's very important that we're not trying to change people's behaviors too much. One of our partner Dodo Points, we already have 130,000 check-ins on a daily basis. It's being used quite widely already. On a yearly basis, there's a $2 billion offline transaction that Spoka is monitoring, which is a huge amount of data already. And these merchants of Dodo Points are already issuing Dodo Points, which we're upgrading to branded tokens on Carry. So for every time that merchants are issuing branded tokens, they're using up our network, and they have to eventually use Carry tokens, stake it to issue more branded tokens. So by design, as more merchants and more partners on board onto Carry ecosystem, there'll be higher and higher usage of branded tokens, which means more Carry tokens. Despite having higher utility, more of them will be taken out of the supply, which means it's going to have an uplifting effect on its price. So we built it we designed the model such that the more it's used, the price has to go up.
Sounds good. I think everyone's getting a bit hungry, so let's wrap up with each project's future plan. Let's start with Eunsol.
Yeah. We will release our beta platform in April, not April, or in August. And in this end of this year or maybe early of next year, we will release a standard version of our platform. And now we just did a POC with other hospital, but after that, we agreed to carry out verify our platform using actual patient data. So after that, we will release about the result too. So in this early of next year, everybody can use our platform and our applications, so they can collect medical data based in our app and use them to management of chronic illness management or other as AI healthcare digital healthcare application. Yeah.
For us, our goal is to have a test version out, installed in physical stores by end of the year, so we can experience the proof of concept and also get user feedback, and also iterate as much as possible by the end of the year.
At Contents Protocol, we're building a Watcha TV, a transactional VOD service. By the end of this year, we will onboard that to the protocol, followed by the subscription VOD model, which is already alive and running. That will come on board next year. We'll expand also to Watcha music and comic books. These will also come onto the protocol sometime next year. Watcha Play, which is our existing business, is also expanding with 60 different Hollywood and Korean studios and local studios as well, and expanding to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore, all within the fourth quarter onto the next year.
Wow. For TT's protocol, this quarter will be an important quarter. We started our project this January. We've been running really fast. This quarter, we'll be releasing our first step on chain this month with migrating 13 million users. Following months, 2 months afterward, we'll be releasing our second step, migrating 10 more million users. We'll be releasing our wallet as well. We'll be releasing our testnet in this quarter as well. With all that, our main KPI for this year is to gain 100 million users by the end of the year.
Our milestone is pretty simple. Our pilot service is going to be launched in Korea in a month, and also integrating Cosmo token model in China, our previous business called Eunsol, and also adopting the same token model in the platform that we acquired in Thailand. That is going to be our 2018 plans.
Cool. Thank you, guys. That's it for the panel. Let's give a round of applause for the founders here.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh, staff. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can stand here, right? Okay.